Hello, everybody. Welcome to another amazing episode of Youth Connect. I'm Aiden.
Hello, everyone. I'm Kevin.
I'm Joshua.
I'm Nibras.
I'm Jeffrey.
And welcome to our Youth Connect. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another, again, amazing episode of Youth Connect, a show where we're going to be talking about a whole bunch of things, especially a whole bunch of news. Some gaming news, some entertainment news, some podcast news. You may never know what we're going to be talking about. But you know what? We kind of followed that same schedule, but I know it's going to be some new stuff that you probably have never even heard yet. But for those who don't know the origin about Youth Connect is a news, interest, entertainment show that was created during the pandemic for the community, by the community, and all of the members of Youth Connect all are big advocates of all abilities who want to become broadcasters, entertainers, and are very big into creating music and writing and directing and acting and so much more. And honestly, we want to have as much opportunity as everybody else. But I know Youth Connect is a show that you are going to love. You already met my other co-hosts, as they said in the beginning. We got Kevin, we got Joshua, we got Nibras, and we got Jeffrey as well. But starting off with Youth Connect, we always have to start off with myself, and I will be bringing you some gaming news. So, I have something brand new for you guys today. I got a request by one of my friends, and they asked me, hey, Aiden, do you mind if you can try something else that's not Spotlight Game of the Week? And I was like, of course I can. Let me try something out. And I have a brand new segment to replace Spotlight Game of the Week for something a little bit more interesting and a little bit more for the mobile users. So I have something called this brand new segment called Obscure and Cool Mobile Games that you should check out. And first up, I've been looking, I was like, what is a game that is on your phone that nobody has ever heard about? Well, here's your first one, and going to be one of many. But today's game, your obscure mobile game, is called Alto's Odyssey. What an interesting name. So, Alto's Odyssey is a natural choice for a free Android game. It features simple mechanics, gorgeous graphics, and a relaxing style. So what is it about? Well, players ski down a hill while avoiding obstacles and making massive jumps. There are also items to collect that can be traded in for various customization options. The game relies heavily on its wallpaper-worthy graphics. And trust you me, guys, the graphics in this game is absolutely mind-blowing. Now, there are simple but effective, and the dark gradients add a good atmosphere to the game. It really feels like the sun's just rising. It's like a sunrise. Everything's dark, and the sun's slowly rising. And it is completely free to download on Android, but you have to play with some limited apps. There are in-app purchases, but there's so much customization that it's entirely optional and doesn't affect gameplay. So it's a free game that has in-app purchases, but guess what? It doesn't affect the gameplay, and it sounds like a lot of fun. You know what this game kind of reminds me of? Flappy Bird, or the one that I forgot, but there was a bird that rolled down hills and then flew into the sky. But I remember something similar to that. It's a fun game. It is beautiful to check out. And sadly for iOS users, I know you can also play Alto's Odyssey, but I don't know. It is going to be $5. But you know what? It's a game that is beautiful. And you know what? If you have some time, if you want to pass some time, play a game that's a little bit fun, but a little bit interesting, I recommend that you check out Alto's Odyssey. It's a really cool and beautiful game that definitely looks like something that you should check out if you ever want to play something on your mobile phone. Now, this has been your obscure and weird and cool mobile game. But next up, we have Kevin for some all-important news.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Youth Connect with me, Kevin Aruja. So for now, let's go to our headlines. The Toronto condo prices will increase this year, the new report suggests. Ontario says young North subway extension step closer as it eschews request for tunnel work. And mayoral candidates propose suing Metrolinx over crosstown delays. And Tampa Bay Lightning takes down Maple Leaf with a score of 4-2 to force on Game 6. A new report from the Toronto Raptor, I mean, sorry, a new report from the Toronto Regional Real Estate Board suggests that condo prices could be set for a rebound later in 2023, despite a double-digit decline over the last year. The report distributed on Thursday, it says condo apartment selling prices were 11.4% lower in the first quarter of 2023 than in the same period in 2022. The average selling price for Toronto condos in the first quarter of 2023 was 726,664, down from the $809,879 during the same period in 2022, but the number is expected to increase as the first-time buyers enter the market this year. The condo-specific forecast from TREBB comes amid some sign of a rebounding market overall. In April, the average selling price of a home in the GTA hits 1,100 wait, it's 1,108,606 compared with 1,000,000 of 96,519 the month before. Prices were still down 15% year over year. The Ontario government said that it is a step closer to making the extension of a young subway line into New York a reality. The province said Thursday that it has issued a request for qualifications for the tunneling work for the Yonge North Subway Extension project. The contract included this design work for the tunnel and building their launch and extraction shaft for the tunnel boring machines. A separate contract will be awarded to build the stations, rail, and system from the extension. Early upgrade work recently began at Finch Station, the current terminus of the Yonge Line, to prepare for the planned Yonge North Subway Extension project. Last month, Metrolinx awarded a contract to consortium Mace, Comtech, and Sistra to help deliver the line. The federal government is also supporting the extension, which was one of the four priority subway projects and announced $10.4 billion for in 2021. The one mayoral candidate is vowing to sue Metrolinx for the $1 billion over delays to the Eglinton crosstown, while others say he would push for the termination of the Provincial Transit Agency CEO instead. On today morning, candidate Anthony Furey announced his plan to sue Metrolinx for the $1 billion if elected. The proposed lawsuit would be for Furey, called Metrolinx contractual breaches and persistent failures with regarding to the Eglinton Crosstown LRT. Construction on the $5 billion project began in 2011, which was initially slated to be completed by 2020. There is still no timeline for when the LRT will be operational. On Friday, Bradford held a press conference where he committed to calling on the provincial government to fire Burster and replace him with someone in charge who can actually get the job done. That, however, didn't happen, and Mulroney said on Thursday that the consortium is yet to provide a credible timeline. And in sports news, Michael Isiamont had a goal and an assist as the Tampa Bay Lightning defeated the Toronto Maple Leaf with the score of 4-2 on yesterday to force Game 6 in their first-round playoff series. Anthony Cirelli with a goal and an assist, Nick Paul and Alex Killorn into the empty net also scored for Tampa Bay. Andrei Vasilevsky made 28 saves. Morgan Rielly and Austin Matthews replied for Toronto, which got 34 stops from Ilya Samsonov. John Tavares also had 2 assists, The Leaf is still lead the best of 7 series with a score of 3 out of 2. Game 6 goes Saturday in Tampa Bay. In Tampa. Game 7, if necessary, would be Monday back in Scotiabank Arena. Toronto, which has fallen to advance the postseason since 2004 and was eliminated by the Lightning in 7 games in the last spring's first round, is now 0 out of 10 since 2018, with a chance to eliminate a postseason opponent. Toronto picked up 7 out of 2 victory 2 nights later as Bunting served the first of the 3-game suspension before securing consecutive overtime wins in Tampa, including a 5 out of 4 decision Monday after trailing 4 out of 1 midway through the third period to build a 3 out of 1 series lead that now sits a much less comfortable 3 out of 2. In today's weather's forecast, we've got light rain this afternoon. The temperature is now 12 degrees. And tomorrow we will get another light rain and the temperature will be 10 degrees. As you may have guessed, and now for the fact of the day, today I'm going to speak about, you name it, National Superhero Day. So what is about National Superhero Day? So, National Superhero Day first got its start in 1995, where Marvel Comics employees went out into the world to ask kids what superpowers they would want to have if it were possible. The results surprisingly revealed that these kids ended up talking more about superheroes in their own lives, and how they often look like normal people. National Superhero Day reminds everyone that most of the time, superheroes are just everyday people who rise to the occasion of helping when this happens. Not only that, but this is an ideal that can be passed on and practiced in our daily lives. Every day, men and women go out in the world and face difficulties in their lives and livelihood to help protect others from the dangers of all of it, except fire and unexpected health issues. But the list of the superheroes in real life doesn't even end there. Someone helping the homeless with food or clothes, comforting a crying stranger, or stopping to help someone with a flat tire on the side of a road can all be considered superheroes. When National Superhero Day comes around, it is the perfect time to keep the eyes open for these superheroes in disguise and be sure to give them some recognition. So, two of the facts I really found is be sure to thank superheroes. Whether organized with a local group such as Scout Troop, school, youth group, or book club, or simply a gathering of concerned citizens, saying thank you to local heroes is a great activity for National Superhero Day. And the second fact is could be an everyday superhero. A perfect way to celebrate National Superhero Day is to get in touch with your own inner superhero. Keep your eyes open for those who need help, and instead of thinking someone should do something, step up and be that someone. Celebrating National Superhero Day can be a whole lot of fun, so let me know in the chat who is your superhero of the day. With that, we come to the end of my segment. Tuning for next week's Canadian news, weathers, and interesting fact. And I'm sending you back to Aiden. See you next Friday.
All right, guys. So, multiple news. I heard about the Toronto prices increasing, and let me just say, I am absolutely shocked. I was researching a little bit more, and I've seen, well, at least from what I saw, that on moneysense.ca, they said that the minimum wage that a student would have makes it almost entirely impossible to live in a condo due to the prices being so high. They're actually exceeding over $1,400 per square foot, which is quite a lot for a student because they have to pay for the colleges, their classes, their food, their electricity, and now they have to pay for the apartment, which has increased even more. Oh, goodness gracious, even more. You know what? It's just very scary. And you know what? It's very shocking to hear. Also, on National Superhero Day, I know that our Super Ability crew has ton of heroes. And we should always remember, guys, appreciate the local heroes that are in your community. No matter how small they are, the smallest difference can make a huge impact. And for weather, you know what? Light rain doesn't seem like it could be a kind of a hang outside kind of week. But for everyone else, so for you, Joshua, for you, Jeff, and for you, Nibras, what did you guys think of Kevin's news?
I liked it, but I'm shocked with the $1 billion if he gets elected. I think that's a little too much.
Yeah. What about you, Jeff, and you, Joshua? What did you guys think?
I thought it was quite amazing. National Superhero Day. That sounds amazing.
It's really good to appreciate the small heroes that we have in our community. And I feel like we might even have a superhero who's here right now. I won't say who, but you might need to have to figure it out.
Aiden, and hopefully, let's hope the Leafs win because I sure did want them to win Saturday night.
Hopefully.
Yes, I cannot wait.
I don't know too much about sports, but you know what? I hope that our team wins. Go Leafs.
Yes, go Maple Leafs.
All right. Thank you so much, Kevin. And guys, now it's time to move on to our second gaming news. And I'm going to be talking about, and actually I've been talking about it before, Street Fighter, the brand new Street Fighter 6. Now, what in the world is Street Fighter 6? Well, it dates back all the way from 1980s. And usually you expect a new Street Fighter game to play it safe. Sure, every generation or two may have a visual shift, but Street Fighter is Street Fighter. It began as a 1v1 tournament fighter, and it shall forever be one until, that is, Street Fighter 6 came along. Now, what I'm very interested in Street Fighter 6 is specifically its new World Tour mode. And if you know, with World Tour mode, it's basically the story mode of Street Fighter, where you fight around the world against the main kind of like fighters of each country. And it's always interesting to see it. But what makes this World Tour so interesting? So what's awesome is that recently there was a vague outline of what this new game mode would entail for a while, but a new showcase actually released that goes into huge detail about what we can expect. And I'll note before we go any further, I'm nowhere a serious fan of this series, so I'm not too big into Street Fighter, but I know my family members are huge into it. But what makes me as a gamer so interested is that a 1v1 street tournament fighter kind of game is now basically becoming an open world RPG game for, Street Fighter. That is completely shocking. An open world RPG kind of style. And obviously with Street Fighter, you can customize your appearance, which, I mean, obviously we already knew because Street Fighter does that. But what I love personally about this is that it's not just cosmetic, because this is an RPG mode game. And you know what that means? Your choice of sneakers or boots will have an impact on your kick strength and even your health. So that means I could buy these like cosmic boots that could give me 200 plus health in each round. But I know what you're wondering. Where in the world is my image? What is it? Well, can I just say, you better look closely here. Now you might be wondering, Aiden, why is there a guy in front of two fridges? Well, in Street Fighter 6, you get to fight a fridge. A literal fridge, which will throw fruits and all kinds of stuff that you would find in a fridge at you. Guys, this game is going to have to be a must-buy for me. One is an open RPG standpoint, but two, you can fight a fridge. Count me in. I'll fight fridges every single day. It's amazing, and it makes me laugh, guys. Guys, fighting a fridge. That's insane. That's awesome, too. But it definitely is something interesting, and I hope you guys look forward for some more Street Fighter 6 news, because we're going to have to keep waiting. You know what? Eventually it'll release, but I bet you we're going to get tons of awesome info on it. This small tidbit that we've gotten is just the tip of the iceberg. Anyways, though, next up is Joshua, and Joshua has with us some good story news, and of course, your very favorite animal news.
Good afternoon. Welcome to you now for a good news story. Neonatal ICU nurse adopts 14-year-old teen patient with triplets to keep their family together. Sometimes there are no limits to what a person will do for their family. In and in the case of neonatal intensive care unit or NICU nurse, that was true for one of her patients as well. Nurse Catherine Mullen cared for a 14-year-old teen named Shariah Small, who is the mom of premature triplets. She feared that the three babies would all be sent into foster care based on the mom's economic and family situation. Mullen was familiar with how scary it is to be pregnant at a young age, since she herself was a teenage mom and received her pregnancy at age 16. Today, she is a single mom of 5 children and small 3 infants stayed at the community hospital north in Indianapolis for a total of 5 months before being discharged, during which time Small and Mullen formed a close bond. This continued after they left the hospital, as the Small continued to call Mullen in moments of the child rearing stress. Then the call that Mullen feared that had arrived, Child Protective Services notifying that Small and her kids would be separated and put into foster care. Therefore, Mullen acted fast. I even didn't think it through, Mullen said. Everyone in my life thought I was insane. And I probably was at that point, but I couldn't let her be separated from them. What is she thinking through? What she didn't think through was the decision to foster, and then to even adopt Small and all three of her kids, forming now a big family of 9. With the immense support of the community at large, Mullen says they are overwhelmed and overjoyed at all the love and kind words and encouragement being showered on their family. Now for another good news story. British Columbia student age British Columbia student age 11 launches environmental club and inspires all ages to protect the planet. Avery Stefaniuk had watched nature documentaries with her mom before, but this time felt different. I was sad about the earth, Avery says, because I saw there were fires going on and the ice was melting. While many felt overwhelmed or hopeless, the 11-year-old felt curious. I was like, what I can do to help, Avery recalls thinking. Her mom, Lisa Clara, but says her daughter has a can-do spirit and likes to do something good for the world. I want everyone to know that our world is not okay, Avery says. We need to stand up for it. So Avery started brainstorming ideas with her mom before getting approval from the principal at her elementary school to launch an environmental club and enlisting members over the morning announcement and launching weekly meetings during the lunch hour. Avery and her Eco Club team are committed to achieving weekly goals, from making organic compostable bird feeders to support the local wildlife, to creating informative posters to hang in the hallways, to picking up garbage and around the school grounds. Because if we want to make it a better tomorrow for young people, Avery says all people need to do is something tangible today. Now turning to animal interest news. 4 chimpanzees rescued from a roadside zoo were seen sharing a love embrace as they set foot in a brand new sanctuary. Found in Ohio at a zoo called the Union Ridge Wildlife Center, they were kept indoors by an exotic animal keeper whose facility was subject to repeated complaints on animal welfare and who was recently sentenced to prison time. Though the Ohio Department of Agriculture ordered the custody of the 4 chimps, named April, Anna, Koch, and Lucy, to be transferred to Florida's Save the Chimps Sanctuary in Fort Pierce, Florida. Footage shows the 4 chimps joyously coming together with hugs, grooming sessions in the quarantine area, where they will remain in quarantine for 2 months before integrating into one of the sanctuary's 12 chimps islands that span 150 acres. These are extremely intelligent chimpanzees who deserve the chance to explore a larger world, and Save the Chimps director of chimpanzee behavior and care, Dr. Andrew Horan. The very sweet chimps range in an age from 13 to 26 and are adjusting well to their new surroundings, the sanctuary said. We look forward to seeing them thrive on a vast island habitat with 15 to 20 new living companions with the freedom to choose where they want to be and who they want to be with, said Holran. This is Joshua Show reporting for you tonight. That's it for me now. I'll send it back to you, Aiden.
All right, let me just say, I love the second and third news. So obviously, I got to talk about the Langford student, guys. 11 years old, and she's already launching an environmental club to raise awareness. Let me tell you, when she gets older, she is going to be a huge advocate and change maker in our world. But I mean, she already is. I just mean, imagine the work and imagine the things that she's going to accomplish when she gets older, because she already looks like a great leader for change. And absolutely sad, well, heart-strumming. That is just so sad to hear the four chimpanzees holding each other and hugging each other just for some love. But you know what? It's important that they're going to be going to a better environment, because you know what? Animals need a huge place to explore, to live in, and not be encased in a small cage. Especially chimpanzees. They need trees. They need a better environment, and I'm just glad to hear that they are going to be getting that better treatment that they deserve. Now I'm going to ask you, Jeff, and you, Kevin, and you, Nibras, what did you guys think of Joshua's news?
I like the animal news is better.
Same
I
here.
like the animal news. It was heartwarming.
Yeah, it is.
The second news I liked. It was very, very a positive thing.
Absolutely. I feel like this student has a huge goal that she's going to accomplish, because you know what, people like that starting at such a young age, you already know what they're going to do. They're going to be huge. They're going to change the world. And it's good to see that. You know what? We need more of these amazing change makers. Just like everybody that's watching, and just like us, that we're trying to make a change in our world as well. Honestly, though, thank you so much, Joshua. These are such amazing news, and I always love hearing your animal news and your good story news, because you know what? It just uplifts the soul and it makes you feel so happy. Now, honestly, we guys got to keep the train moving, and next up, we got to move on to a quick board game of the week. What is board game of the week? Well, it's a board game that I want to check out that's a little bit more interesting. It's an obscure board game of the week. So it's a board game that you probably have never even heard of. And what is this board game? Well, let me tell you, it's a little bit more spooky, because it's called The Sleeping Gods. Are the stars unfamiliar here? She said, as the sky grew suddenly dark and the star patterns alien and exotic. This is the wandering sea. The gods have brought you here, and you must wake them if you wish to return home. In Sleeping Gods, you and up to 3 friends become Captain Sophie, Odessa, and her crew, lost in a strange world in 1921 on your steamship, the Manticore. You must work together to survive, exploring exotic islands, meeting new characters, and seeking out the totems of the gods so that you can return home. Know what makes this game so interesting? Well, Sleeping Gods is a campaign game, an atlas game, and a storybook game. What does that mean? Well, if it's a storybook game, that means there's going to be lots of awesome hidden treasures, wild adventures, and vivid characters. And remember, your choices affect the story. And in Atlas, it represents that a small portion of world you can explore, and once you reach the edge of that world, you can flip it over and go to a new page to continue onward. But this game is all about a campaign game. So you can pause, come back to the game. It's a game where you can kind of like go at your own pace. It's like an RPG in a board game. And that sounds absolutely amazing. And I love that it has a little bit of a story to get you immersed in the board game style. I always find it interesting how board games kind of can apply itself into a video game RPG standpoint. It blows my mind, guys. But honestly, though, if you want an RPG game that you can take at your own time and you're really good at RPGs, I recommend that you check out The Sleeping Gods. Anyways, I got to keep moving on forward. And next up is Nibras with some entertainment and podcast news.
Hello, everybody. How are you guys today? My name is Nibras Khan, and I'm news for the entertainment news. Let's get to our top story. And our top story is about. So, after many rumors and after so many years, it looks like Vince Vaughn will be back with a new Dodgeball sequel. As announced by Deadline, the follow-up to the 2004 hit is now in early development at 20th Century Fox Studios. One is expected to also produce the new movie, although there are currently no details of what the plot will be and who else from the original movie could be returning to the franchise. The original movie was written and directed by Ronson Marshall, but it has not been confirmed yet whether he will have any involvement in the sequel. When it comes to casting on the movie, if the film is going down the legacy route, as many other recent sequels to older movies have, then there are plenty of names that could be called on to join the movie. The original cast included Ben Stiller, Christine Taylor, Justin Long, Chris Williams, Gary Cole, Jason Bateman, and even William Shatner, as well as the late Rip Torn in a forever memorable role. The original Dodgeball, a true underdog story, was a raunchy comedy of its time. And however, audiences loved the movie and it was a box office success. And the idea of the sequel is something that has been discussed on many occasions in the past. And some have mixed reviews for the sequel. Back in October last year, it seems that a big breakthrough on the sequel was nearing. Dodgeball made more than 168 million in theaters against a reported budget of 20 million, just 20 million. The film contains numerous standout scenes and memorable moments that have spawned such memes as bold move, cotton, and quotes like, if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a dodgeball. Eventually, once a year, ESPN transforms its ESPN2 network into ESPN8 and airs unique sports like cherry pet, spitting, and stone skipping, among others, and an homage to the original film. So I love this film. I've watched it so many times. It is really old, 2004. It's older than Avatar. So that means if this film gets released, it's gonna be bigger than longer than Avatar, which is crazy. But again, sometimes I like to do when movies are releasing. Sometimes I do stories that movies have not even been started to create, right? I like to do that. So just there's level 1 and there's level 10. Sometimes I like to do level 0, and this is a level 0 story. So again, um just I am very excited. Maybe I hope 2025, 2026 will be the release it or earlier. Who knows? Now to my second story. Now before I go to my second story, I'd like to give you guys the fact of the day. And today's fact of the day is, drum roll please. Did you guys know the last letter added to the English alphabet was J? Yes, that's true. The letter dates back to 1524 and was before that the letter I was used for both I and J. So imagine jar was IR and jacket was IK? Hey, maybe, yeah, it was, but it's just amazing. It's like it's A to Z, but why is J added to the last? It shouldn't be Z. It's something crazy to me. It's interesting, right? If you like that fact of the day, comment down below. Now to my second story. My second story is about a podcast. So now this podcast is Kitchen Counter. So Kitchen Counter, for step-by-step cooking tips, look no further than the Kitchen Counter podcast. In Let's Cook episode, host Roger talks listeners through preparing dishes like chicken masala, butter chicken, shrimp etouffee, and roasted potatoes, and much more. He dedicates his time in other episodes to equipment like instant pot basics and much more other techniques, how to chop, how to cut, how to barbecue a chicken, meat. He does so many techniques, teaches you so much. If you're a level 1 cook, if you would like to learn more, you can go and listen to this podcast. I really recommend this podcast, and it's really easy. It's like I said, step by step, and just love this podcast. So the name of the podcast is Kitchen Counter. Again, Kitchen Counter. And that's all from me. As always, this is Nibras Khan from Mute Connect. I'll see you all next week. Thank you. Take care. Back to it. Bye, guys. Thank you.
All right, guys, I'm going to keep moving because we got to get to Jeffrey. But I just want to say, I knew nothing about this dodgeball movie, and apparently it was when it released, I was only 1 year old, so I definitely wouldn't have seen it. But I heard from my dad, it's a pretty funny movie, so I might need to check it out before I watch Dodgeball 2. It looks interesting. And the kitchen counter, guys, I know that one of our Super Ability crew members, Logan, would definitely appreciate this podcast because you know what? It's tips, tricks, and recipes all about cooking in your kitchen. So honestly, if you're a chef or wanting to become a chef or learn a little bit more about cooking, make sure to check out the kitchen counter. Thank you so much, Nibras. And finally, we have Jeffrey with his live music.
Hi everybody, this is Jeffrey, your live musician, and I'm gonna play an original song. Cool, it has a cool reggae vibe to it, and it's called "Cookie I Love You."
Just gotta say when you look at me in that special way, I wanna love you, smell you, feel you in my mouth. I love you, cookie, I truly do. All the will to have my heart as you do. Let me talk you want to. Feel my anticipation, 3, 4, planning more, 5, 6. Love the mix, 7, 8. Love is real, it's definitely fake. Cookie, I love you. Cookie, you're so true. Cookie, you multiply my feelings for you. Your cripple bites get my blood thumping. Soft center gets my hips thumping. My tongue remembers your sweet taste. My brain screams, this is a race. I've got to feel my face. Every junk you want to feel my anticipation. Planning more, 5, 6. Love the mix, 7, 8. Love is real, it's definitely fake. Clock stop, there's no rush. Cookie, I truly love you till you are a mash. Cookie, I love you. fights get my blood thumping. Soft center gets my hips a plumping, yeah. My tongue remembers your sweet taste. My brain screams miseries. I've got to feel your face. Let me dunk you want to feel my anticipation. Platinum more 5-6. Love a mix 7-8. Love is real in everything. Let me dunk you want to feel my anticipation. Platinum more 5-6. Love a mix 7-8. Love is real, definitely fake. Let me dunk you want to feel my anticipation before planning more 5-6. I love the maybe 7-8. Let me dunk you want to feel my anticipation before planning more 5-6. Love is real, it definitely fake. Clock stop, there's no rush. Cookie, I truly love you till you are all mush. Cookie, I love you.
Thank you, everybody. This is Jeffrey, your live musician, and I'll see you all next week. Back to you, Aiden. Bye, everyone.
All right, Jeff. That was absolutely amazing. And you know what? I really felt like you got the beat. You really had rhythm in that song. It was absolutely awesome, and I really felt that reggae beat. Honestly, absolutely amazing. And it's always the cherry on top of our Youth Connect. And actually, since Jeffrey's done, I think we have reached the end of our Youth Connect. If you like Youth Connect, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
And don't forget to click the notification bell.
And other than that, guys, we will see you all next time. Catch you later and have a great weekend. Thank you guys so much. And of course, thank you, Joshua. Thank you, Jeffrey. Thank you, Nibras. And of course, thank you, Kevin.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Catch you
Bye.
later.
Bye.